All right, so I guess we have some new people joining the call. So I guess we are good to start. Nishant, over to you.
All right. So, hi everyone. Good morning, good evening. Welcome to the session on UiPath Solutions Management, where we deep dive into UiPath's latest product offering called the Solutions Management, which helps RPA enthusiasts like us effortlessly deploy RPA workflow and other resources required for RPA workflows across multiple tenants. Let's take a look at the speakers for the session. Umesh, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure, Nishant. Thank you so much. So my name is Umesh Sharma, and I'm currently working in the capacity of RPA Tech Lead with the Silicon Partners. And I'm also available on LinkedIn. You can feel free to connect me there as well. Thank you. Over to you, Fez.
Yeah, thank you, Umesh. Yeah, hi everyone. Good morning, good evening. Thank you all for joining the today's session. My name is Faiz and I have been working as a senior technical consultant with the Silicon Partners. And I'm having 8 years of experience in the field of IT. And I'm very passionate about innovation and have been recognized for my achievement in this area. And I'm also UiPath Hackathon 2022-2023 champion and AI Summit champion as well. Beside this, I am UiPath official content writer and I have written a blog on UiPath object detection model with UiPath apps Android AI chatbot. So that's all about me. Over to you, Nishan.
That's great, Faiz. So, hi everyone, Nishant here. I've been working as an RPA developer with the Silicon Partners. Please feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. So, let's take a look at the agenda for this session. We'll first take a look at the problem statement and go through why why the solution is required at all. What problems is it aiming to solve? We'll then also take a look at the orchestrator management, which is another tool by UiPath that helps in creating, editing, as well as deleting bulk resources. We'll then move to solutions management, and we'll follow it up with a small intro to the UiPath's Insider program, and also take a look at the solution accelerators and the future scope of solutions management. So taking a look at the problem statement. So does this tenant setup look familiar to all of us over here? We have a development tenant, a test tenant, and a production tenant. This is what UiPath prescribes as as a good practice or the best practices for managing your orchestrator services. Now, when we deploy our workflow, when we are developing a workflow, then this is what our folders look like in orchestrator. We have processes, we have multiple assets, we have queues, we have triggers. Now imagine moving these resources across the tenants and imagine doing these in every sprint. This becomes especially challenging in case a company has a multi-organizational setup. Now, keeping in line with UiPath's aim of using RPA to reduce the efforts on non-productive work, such as migrating these from one tenant to another, UiPath's solution management tool helps to reduce this effort by making the migration process very simple. Taking a look at the orchestrator manager, as I have said, that this is a tool that is already present. It can be found in the marketplace. This has to be downloaded, and it helps in creating, editing, and deleting of resources like assets, environments, machines, processes, robots, queues, and everything that is required for an RPA workflow. We are covering this because this is an integral component of UiPath's admin or automation ops, what they call it. And so we'll quickly go through this. We'll have Faiz give a quick demo for this. Meanwhile, if you have any queries, we'll take this at the end. Feel free to post them in the chat. Faiz, over to you.
Yes, Nisham, thank you so much for briefly covering the orchestrator manager. So I'm going to share my screen. Please let me know if you guys can share my screen.
We can.
Yes, we can.
Thank you. So without further ado, let's move on to the demo. And before moving to the demo, like to I would like to show you like how you can download the Orchestrator Manager. You just only visit the marketplace.uipath.com. As I already visited and I have logged in with my account, so I am just getting my tenants ID and this URL along with. So you will get the download button. You have to click on the download, and as soon as it is downloaded, you need to unzip and open in UiPath Studio. So once you open the Orchestrator Manager in UiPath Studio, and this will look like, and all the component will be listed here. As we are going to cover more on the solution management, so we are not going to cover the Orchestrator Manager like each and every components here. Two things you need to remember. One, you need to open the config file first. And here you have to provide the cloud tenant name, that is development, and cloud account name, that is TSP Brazil. So these two things you can put it here, or you can put at the runtime as well. So that is for config. And one more thing it is required, if you are going to create assets, queues, and machines, you need to provide some input. So UiPath itself provided all these sheets for different entities creation. So for assets creation, you need to open this assets sheet. As I already have added input data, which I need in UiPath Orchestrator. And this is specifically for UiPath assets, that is text, Boolean, integer, and text. And if you want to create a credential, there is a separate sheet that is called create credential, and you need to provide the similar information here as well. So this is for asset creation. Similar way you can create the queues. So I already have provided the data in assets and queues. Okay. Excuse me. So we need to click on this run button. So once I hit the run button, it will navigate to the intuitive HTML page. Okay, so you can see this page is designed in HTML, and this is not very limited with UiPath logos and buttons. If you are the organization, you can change it accordingly. Like you can place your organization logo here. So you can do whatever the changes you want, you can do it here, but you cannot publish it because it is comes under the UiPath license. And if you want to contribute to Orchestrator Manager, you can reach out to the UiPath team. So here we are going to, so you can see a couple of fields are auto-populated. These three fields are populated because we have provided this information in the config file. And these two fields, like already I have added in my Windows Credential Manager. If you want to change, you can click on this checkbox and you can place your app ID and secret. So these app ID creation and UiPath Orchestrator Manager deep dives. So our team member will share the dedicated YouTube channel playlist so that you can deep dive into it. And also we will share the UiPath official documentation for app ID and secret creation. You will get in the Teams chat, you will get in the Zoom chat. So I'm using my credential. So I will use this credential and hit on OK. As soon as click on OK, it will navigate to the next screen. And this screen will having the entity and operation. Entity like all the assets components like assets, queues, machine, and triggers. And the operation is nothing like it is action, like what action you are going to perform. If you want to get the credential, if you want to create the credential. So you can see two different things here are here for assets creation, create and create credential. You already have seen we have two different sheets for assets and credential. So right now I'm going to create the assets. So I have selected assets and create. So this will create the assets. If you want to check like what data we have provided in input sheet, you can click on open workbook. If you're okay with the data you already have provided in your input sheet, you can hit on execute button. So now before entering the execute button, I would like to show like what data inside
So
the
basically, there are like some ideas. There is one new department that might be.
sorry.
Please go ahead.
Okay. So before proceeding with execute, I would like to show my orchestrator so that we can validate nothing is there except this process. So we would want like the assets and queues here. So let me refresh it. Okay, so we can see like except process, nothing is here. So let me create the asset first. Click on execute. So you can see all the asset will be created with assets ID and result. You can see the success. So assets is created successfully, and let's create a credential as well. So select the credential here and hit execute again. And the credential sheet is populated here. You can see assets ID and success results are there. So these two components are created in UiPath Orchestrator with the help of external app ID and secret. One more thing I need to create here, that is queues. So in order to create the queue, you can select the queue here. And I want to create the queue. And data I already have provided in the sheet. You can see. Let me close this sheet, this one as well. Okay. So I'm going to create a queues as well. So once the queues is created, you can get the queues ID and result, the success one. So these are done from the orchestrator manager. The idea is to cover the orchestrator manager because the orchestrator manager and the solution management both are specifically for UiPath administrator. So that is the reason we are covering the orchestrator manager with this session as well. So let me close this and this one too. Let's move on to the orchestrator, and you can see 5 assets, 1 queues are created. We have 2 process. These we have created for solution management bundles. So one more thing we have to create, we have to check like all these are created with the help of orchestrator manager, and we are going to create a trigger manually so that we can check the automated assets creation and the manual trigger creation. Both we can bundle with UiPath solution management. So let me create a solution queue trigger here. Select the queue name and the process. So that is the only things required in order to create the trigger. All right. So we have assets, queues, and trigger and process. Now it's time to move on to the solution management. So if you want to use the solution management, you need to navigate to the automation ops. And here under you will find many things along with the solution management. This is under preview, and hopes you will receive the stable version this month and next month. So one thing you can notice here, once I select the solution management, you will notice that selection box is here where you can select the tenant from where you can get assets, queues, and processes. So right now I only have one tenant, that is development. So I'm selecting the development. So apart from this, you will see project, packages, and deployment. So I'm going to cover this project part. Package and deployment will be covered by the Umesh because we have 2 demos. One I'm going to cover and second Umesh will be covering. So you need to create the project first. Hit on new project. Write the project name. And you can provide the description according to the solution management, what you are creating for. As soon as I hit create, it will navigate to the page where you can bundle all these together. So you can see like start building your solution by adding solution component from this tenant. So I have selected the development tenant, so we can select all the component from the development. Once I hit the plus icon, you will see all the folders and their subfolder will be listed here. So my package will be created with the help of this folder. So I have assets, queues, and credentials all together in this folder, which are associated with this. So either you can select all or you can select partially, like we have 12 items. So we can let remove few of them, like this one test and this SM demo. So all looks good. So this was I have created manually, and all we are going to use for the solution management. Okay, looks good to me. Now click on add. You maybe encounter error because this is under preview mode. So maybe I have selected any component which is deleted, but it is the reference is already there. So dismiss it. Let's click on plus icon again. Okay. Okay, let me remove this one. This was deleted earlier, but the reference is still there. So we will report this issue with the UiPath team so that they can rectify it. Perfect. So you can see all the components, all the entities are here. If you want any changes, like if you before exporting or before sharing with others, team members or other uh, tenants, so you can make any changes here like description, username or password. And you can notice there is a lock icon. If you want you are sharing this solution and you don't want to make any changes with description and username, you can click on lock button. It will be locked, and those who are going to export this solution management cannot change anything here. So right now I'm not locking this solution here. Everything looks good. So the only thing you have to do, just click on publish icon, and you can check the solution root folder. I'm going to let it as it. Package name and package version, you can provide the description here. Just click on publish. You can click on go back and also click on check status here. Okay, so you can see it is ready for the deployment, but I'm not going to deploy. So what I can do, I can just click on this three dot. I can download this latest version. Okay, so I'm going to share the solution with Umesh, and now Umesh will cover the solution management. Over to you, Umesh.
Thank you, Faiz. So just to give you a brief to everyone. So till now, we have covered the steps where we have created a process and all the components from scratch, where we created the processes, we created queues, associated assets and triggers, right? So once that is done, we had a look at how we can bundle all those components as a solution management package, right? So when we talk about solution management, so this is an out-of-the-box functionality to manage the life cycle of the automations once they are built. So in our case, we already built a solution. We have created a package as well. So this solution management capability comes into play once the development is completed, and once we are ready to promote these solution to a new environment. So the new environment can be a new folder within the same tenant. It can either be to a new tenant altogether, or we can also share the same solution to a different organization as well. So in this case, Faz created the component in organization TSP Brazil, and he created this solution in a development tenant, right? As a next part of the demo, we will be importing this solution in a new, completely new, different organization in a new tenant as well. We'll also see how we can promote the solution across tenants, like starting from development to testing and then production. So through solution management initiative, UiPath offers a way to bundle together all the related components like how we have seen, right? So as a prerequisite, we should have an automation cloud account. And then this automation cloud, apart from this, we should also have an access to automation ops as well as an admin or maybe as an automation ops contributor. So in order to access solution management capability, we should have the Automation Cloud, as well as access to Automation Cloud. Coming to the solution components, as of now, there are 6 components which are included as a part of solution component, which includes processes, assets, queues, storage buckets, triggers, and action catalogs. So in our case, in today's demo, we are covering processes, assets, queues, and triggers as a part of solution management demo. And apart from this, the solution management package that we create comprises of all the artifacts and metadata as well, with it has the values associated with each component, right? And we can also apply environment-specific configuration as we promote the solution management package. Since we already covered the part where FAS created a solution package, and now we will use the same package to promote to a new environment in a completely new different organization. So I'll quickly share my screen. You can also have a look at the official documentation which is available. So let me know if you can see my screen.
You can.
All right. So as you can see, currently I'm logged into a new organization, which is TSP India. And currently I am into the automation ops webpage where I have a solution management feature available, which is currently in public preview. It will be available in stable version in coming weeks. So as a next step, I'll be uploading the solution package which I have received from FAS, and I'll promote or I'll set up the solution package in completely new organization and new tenant. And then we will also try to execute the same package, whether it is working as expected or not. So I'll upload the solution management package, which I have received from FAS in the development tenant. So the package was uploaded successfully. Once it is available and ready, as a next step, we will be deploying this into the testing tenant. But before that, I just want to show you. So this is the development tenant. We are right now at the development tenant, right? And if you see, we already have some modern folders created, finance and accounts payable. And under that, we do not have any processes as such for now. So we will be, once we deploy this solution management package, we will be able to see all the components, including processes, assets, queues, and triggers available once the deployment is completed. So to perform the steps of importing or deploying this package, we need to click on deploy. We need to select the folder where we want to have this solution management package installed. So we have selected the accounts payable folder, and then this will be the root folder which will be created inside of this. So once I click on continue, it will ask us to validate all the components, or if we want to change any specific values as per the new environment, because when we migrate or promote such solutions, we have to change certain values that are specific to that environment, right? So I have to provide a password. If I don't provide a password, I won't be able to process it further, because that's a mandatory field that has not been added. So because it's a specific environment specific, I have to provide that as well. These are the other components which you can see, which were bundled as a part of this solution management package. These are all the different assets and queues. So I'll just simply click on deploy. I can also validate it first just to make sure that everything is as expected. There are no blank values. We can also change these as per the environment specific configurations. I'll hit on deploy, since there are no validation errors. So once I click on deploy, it will take some time. It will create all the subfolders. It will create the processes, the assets, the queues. So as you can see, the installation is currently in progress, and it hardly takes a few seconds to deploy this whole package and then in a tenant. So as you can see, this deployment is successful on the development tenant. Once I refresh the page, we will be able to see that the subfolder has been created, as well as the processes which were part of this bundle are also available along with all the assets, queues, and triggers. 2 processes, 1 queue, and 5 assets, right? So we have the configuration available over here. So if we want to test it, right, whether it's working fine or not, we can also try to execute the same. So for that, I'll just quickly share. So as you can see, once I deployed that, I have both the processes available on the assistant, because currently I am connected as a developer license through the development tenant. I have an option to run the dispatcher. I have just completed it. So let's see the jobs. So it was completed just now, right? So that means the solution package was migrated from a completely different organization and imported in a new environment, and then we are able to run it from just a couple of steps, right? So it becomes very easy when we have to migrate such solution across organization or across tenant. So this is the queue item which was added by the dispatcher bot. And the next step, we can also run the performer bot just to see whether it is running as expected or not. So it consumes the queues, it consumes the assets, the binding is already there, right? So it has also completed, and we can see that in the jobs, we have the performer solution execution completed as well. In the queues, we can see the status. I guess Sandeep has some questions, so feel free to ask Sandeep in chat, or if there is anything specific to this particular step, we can discuss that as well.
Hi, Umesh. Good evening.
Good evening, Sandeep.
Umesh, I want to ask you after successfully run of dispatcher. So in that case, need to run performer, or once data added in the queue, performer automatically start run the job.
Yes, right. So if you can see, the trigger should be there already, which is queue based, but it is not enabled because I am currently in a development environment, right? So it can only happen in the unattended robot setup, because we cannot run a time-based or queue-based trigger in a developer license. So currently I'm connected as a developer license in my development tenant. We will test this in the testing tenant, where we will have the license allocated as testing license, which is unattended, in other words.
Yeah.
Right? What a good question, I think. So we're gonna cover that as well.
Yeah. Thank you, Umesh.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. So this
Please continue.
Sure. Thank you, Sandeep. So this is the testing tenant, right? We have already checked whether it's working fine or not. We can make the changes. We can customize all the values and fields. As a next step, we will be migrating the same solution package to a different tenant, which will be testing tenant. So in our case, we'll go to the packages section again under solution management, and we will upload the same solution. We can also customize it. Like I said, we can make the code changes, we can update the assets, we can add few more assets, we can add few more queues, and then we can again create a solution package from the scratch, like how Faz showed, and then we can promote it to a different environment, which is testing, if you want to customize it. So in this case, the solution management demo package is now available in the testing tenant as well. I can deploy it, but once again, let's see what do we have under testing tenant as of now. So I'm just switching back to the testing tenant. As you can see, we do not have any subfolders and processes. Nothing is created. It's all fresh. I just want to migrate the same solution package, or maybe customized solution package, to a different tenant. I'll do the same steps. it hardly takes, I think, 4 or 5 clicks, not more than that, to migrate the solution seamlessly in a completely new environment. As you can see, I have the same assets, credential, and everything is also the same. I need to provide the password value. I'll enter the password. We need to validate it once again, whether just to make sure there are no validation errors, and then click on deploy. We also have some other options where we can link and replace the assets values which are already available in the existing tenant. Let's suppose I have some assets which are already available in the testing tenant, which I want to use from a different folder. I can also link that. I have an option available here when I import the solution package. So as you can see, currently the status is in progress. Once it is successful, we can validate whether we have the solution components available in the testing tenant as well. So, right, we have a new folder created with just 4 or 5 clicks. We have now all the processes, assets, queues, and associated triggers available here. Right, since this is a testing tenant, we will be executing the same solution component through a testing license, which will be an unattended license. For that, I have to assign a virtual machine where the robot is currently connected as a unattended license, or basically a testing license. So the robot account is already associated with the new folder since it was created just now. So we will be, so as you can see, the robot account is already there as it was inherited from the parent folder, but the machine is not there. So the machine has to be assigned in order to complete the configuration for unattended setup. I have just now assigned a VM where the bot is connected as under the testing license. If you want to see how it works in unattended setup, we can do that as well. So as we can see, the trigger is currently disabled. So we have an option where once click on activate, the trigger gets enabled automatically. Or we can also enable that later as well at a later stage. So maybe I'll just simply enable it myself for now. So that means once we have the dispatcher bot run, once we have the queue item available in the queue, the performer bot should run by itself. So that means with very minimum number of steps, we can migrate a solution component and it can run by itself, right? So as a next step, I'll just simply go ahead and run the dispatcher bot, which will pick the testing license and the associated unattended robot account. So as you can see, it is successful with such a less number of steps. So it will add the queue item in the queue. So let's see if we have anything in the queues. So it has run in unattended mode. Right. So we have the queue item as well. We'll also see the job. So it has completed the dispatcher. So I guess the queue-based trigger will be it will run once we save it once again, because the bot doesn't pick the, I would say, once the trigger is activated, it will pick the queue item. Or if not, I think I'll have to check the configuration as well, how it is configured, the trigger. Okay, so let's see how the trigger is configured. So all right. So as we can see, the run type is production. So we'll have to change it to testing because the current license type is testing. So that's the reason it was not triggered by itself. Now let's see if we have the performance. As you can see, the performer bot has started executing once the trigger was updated. Right? And it will start processing the queue item which was there. It is also completed. Right? So I think you will be able to relate, because as a RPA developer or a solution architect or a CEO lead, it becomes very difficult to migrate such solutions across environments, across folders, across tenants, right? And with the help of solution management capability, it becomes very easier to promote or migrate such solutions. So this is the demo where we covered how we can migrate such solution components once that is created. We can also check how we can undeploy or uninstall any solution which was installed. So if I click on uninstall, it will also delete all the components, including the folder. So that option is also available if you want to uninstall any solution in any tenant. So right now we will be uninstalling the same solution in the testing tenant. So I'll switch back from development to tenant just to make sure that we do not have that available. Currently it is in progress. It takes some time because the deletion takes some time because there are different components. But once this is completed, we will review whether we have those subfolders and associated components uninstalled or not. But I hope you find this session very useful, because it becomes very difficult when we have a lot of processes and associated assets and queues, where we have to manually create such components, and it takes a lot of time. And there are chances of human error as well when you migrate such components. So this becomes very easier with the help of solution management. I guess it is taking some time, but let's see. I don't know. All right, so I guess the folder might have already been deleted. As you can see, it is no more here, but I guess it is still in progress. Maybe it might be doing something else. I don't know. So that's it. I think we will have this status updated in some time, but the package is not available. Let me just refresh the page. Maybe it's not syncing. All right, so I guess it has already uninstalled. So that sums up the solution management demo. And now we'll have a look at the insider program and the TSP solution accelerator. So over to you, Nishant.
Awesome. Thanks for the walkthrough, Mish. So UiPath's Insider program is an initiative which helps the RPA enthusiasts like us get early access to new product offerings, as well as early updates that UiPath is planning for its existing products. It also gives you an opportunity to connect with the product managers and provide them feedback about whatever products or whatever changes that are being made. And this can help you become an early adopter for that product and also stay ahead in the game. You can find more on uipath.com/rpa/insider. So we'll take a look at the solution accelerators. So solution accelerators are template programs that are built by UiPath. And the reason that they are built is it avoids a lot of work. So these are mostly workflows which are very common. So something like a three-way match invoice processing. And once these are downloaded from the marketplace, these can simply be customized according to your requirements. The resources can be created, and these can be deployed and used according to whatever requirements that the company has. And going forward, solution accelerators are being planned to be part of solutions management. So whenever the solutions management bundle for a particular accelerator is uploaded, it will create the resources automatically. So that saves one more what this saves one more step. So TSP has worked with UiPath for 4 SAP solution accelerators. This is a two-way match invoice processing for SAP. This can be downloaded from the marketplace. We have the three-way match invoice processing as well. And we have the process goods receipt. This is again in co-developed with UiPath that has been developed by TSP. And again, this can be downloaded from the marketplace. The fourth one is update existing vendor that Umesh showed in the very first slide. So this is going to help you save a lot of time with solution accelerators, because now you don't have to go to the extra step of creating the resources also. So this was it from our side. If we have any queries, I think we can see some queries in the chat that we can take up right now.
Right. So I guess maybe yes, Sandeep, please go ahead.
Umesh, I have a question regarding in case of unattended bot, we can create a cone expression. So is it possible we can create cone expression?
Yes, cron expression will also be migrated.
Along look like a trigger asset.
Yes.
So is it also possible?
Yes. So the
Okay.
metadata as an artifact, like we discussed, right? Whatever trigger that we create will be migrated as a part of solution management package. So even the cron expression are also supported.
Okay. So with the help of your provided seat, or I'm not talking about manually. I'm talking about the with bot.
You mean you want to create a trigger through bot?
No. You have created trigger.
No, I just modified the trigger. I just modified the trigger to use the correct license type. So it was selected as production. That's why it did not run. But when I switched it to testing, it automatically picked the available license and then triggered the performer.
Okay. And what about queue?
Queues, we did not change anything. All the components were used as it is.
Okay. Okay, got it.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah.
So I think we have a question from Richard, and the question is AI Center on the roadmap for this tool? So definitely yes. I think and you can also provide your valuable feedback on the insider program, which we just showed. So you can just simply log in there and you can provide your feedback as well if you would like to see more on the AI Center side. If so, action catalog can be imported, right? Which is something on the Action Center task. But on the AI Center, I would say including the ML packages and ML skills is definitely on the plan. So yes. And feel free to provide your feedback as well if you would like to have any other components included as a part of solution management.
And I think going forward, Umesh, so Richard also had a question about the API being available. So I think we don't currently see it, but given that UiPath is making API available for most of its services, so I think with solution management also we should see an API service available soon for solution management as well.
All right. Absolutely, I think API will gonna be very useful. Okay, all right. Any more questions from? I guess we are on time. We're still waiting for, if you have any questions, feel free to ask and we'll be happy to
Hi,
answer.
Umesh.
Yes, Samandeep.
I think we'll get all the features of Orchestrator in the Orchestrator Manager tool, right?
Orchestrator Manager is a out-of-the-box functionality or component which is available on marketplace. So you will have to download it and run it on your machine in order to use it. So you can find it on UiPath Marketplace.
Okay. Thank you.
So feel free to join the Delhi NCR Meetup WhatsApp group, which you can see on the screen. You can scan this. You can be a part of the Delhi NCR Meetup, where there are a lot of contents available. A lot of MVPs are already there, and community members who are very active and ready to support in case you have any doubts. So feel free to join that. And also you can sign up and join the Delhi NCR member group on the UiPath community page as well. So you can find the link over here. So you are welcome to join both the groups.
Thank you, Umesh. Thank you, Faiz. Thank you, Nishant. So I'm Rohit here for everyone. I manage the UiPath community for APAC. I'm sorry to join a little late, and I'm super sorry that I'm not able to turn on my camera. I'm still on the road. Feel free to join the groups that Umesh mentioned earlier, and any questions, any queries, any challenges, any support that you need, feel free to post on that group. It's very interactive. We don't really promote any other content other than the UiPath community or any events that are happening. And feel free to use that forum as a discussion platform. So let us drive some very meaningful, insightful conversations. Any seek support from others. Everyone is there to help each other out. And anyone who is interested to also at some point be a speaker in any of the sessions. If you have some content, or if you have kind of experienced or learned something which you want to share with the larger group, feel free to reach out to to myself or Umesh or Mukesh or anyone, and we'll be happy to set up some session for you. We're happy to curate some content that you would have prepared, and we can take it up notch by notch. Any questions other than this that anyone has? Right. Anyone who is anyone from your peers, anyone from your network who has missed this session, no worries. This session will be recorded on YouTube. All the community sessions that happen on virtually are recorded, and they are all available on the YouTube channel of UiPath community. So whenever if you feel that it can be shared with anyone, feel free to do that as well.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Umesh. Thank you, Nishant. Thank you, Faiz. It was really great to have you. Looking forward to more sessions from your end, and keep it up.
Thank you so much, Rohit. Yeah.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Rohit. Thanks everyone for joining.
Thank you, everyone.
Everyone for joining. I appreciate it.